Hi there, this is Ruben from Dutch Round 1. Thanks again for coming by. Thanks for watching another episode. As always, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your support. Today we have a vocabulary lesson for you guys, 50 sports-related words in Dutch. But before we do that, remember to give the like if you like this content, subscribe if you want more, and let me know in the comments if this was useful for you or not. But without much further ado, let's go straight for our 50 sports-related words in the Dutch language. And the first one is het voetbal, the football, the game. You will see we will use, for most of the sports, we will use het as an article. However, if we take a look at de voetbal, that also exists, but then it's the football, the ball itself. All right, so het voetbal would be the game, and then de voetbal would be the football, the ball itself. We continue, and then we have the bal. The bal, of course, would be the ball. We continue, another game, het tennis. The same like in English, het tennis. So again, the article het with the sport itself. So that would be tennis. Het tennis is tennis in English. We continue. De speler. De speler. Spelen means to play. So the speler means the player, right? De speler. We continue again with tennis. The tennis racket, that would be the tennis racket or the tennis racket. I've seen that in America it's written with CK, and I've seen that in Britain or British English it's written with CQ. So the tennis racket is the tennis racket. We continue, and then we have the scheidsrechter, a little bit difficult to pronounce, scheidsrechter, and that would be our referee. The scheidsrechter is the referee. We continue, het basketbal, again very close to English, that would be basketball. Again, with sports, the most common article would be het. If you have a doubt whether to use de or het in Dutch, click on the following link, which you will see appear right now, and I made a video about when to use de and when to use het in Dutch. Alright, there's not that many rules. Most of the time it's even better if you learn a word, learn also the article, but there might be some guidelines which will make your life a little bit easier. We continue, and then we have het veld. Het veld, that would be the field. Het voetbalveld, the football field, and so on, or the soccer field if you're from America. We continue, de piste. De piste, that would be the track, the atletiekpiste, athletics, or the cycling track, that would be de piste, okay? So the track is de piste. Atletiek, close to English again, that would be athletics. De atletiek is athletics. Right? De atleet, again, close to English, that would be your athlete. De atleet is the athlete. We continue, zwemmen. Zwemmen is to swim, right? Zwemmen is to swim, and then the swimming pool, that would be het zwembad. Het zwembad is the swimming pool. We continue, and then maybe the biggest sport event of every 4 years, and that would be the Olympische Spelen, Olympic Games. All right, notice that Olympische is pronounced with an S, although you write SCH at the end. Well, if you write SCH at the end, most of the time followed by an E, you will pronounce it as an S. You will not say the Olympische or the Olympische Spelen. You don't say that. We pronounce it as the Olympische Spelen. However, if it's in front of the word, like school, we would say school, right? We continue, the competitie. The competitie would be a competition, but then competition in English as a kind of a rivalry, as a game, as a fixture, that would be the competitie, not like a competition between companies. We continue, and then we have the uitdager. The uitdager, that would be your challenger, right? The uitdager is the challenger. And then, of course, we have the kampioen, and the kampioen, that would be your champion. Again, quite close to English. And then we have boksen. Of course, you have a challenger in boxing, and you also have a champion. So boksen is boxing. We continue, and then the bokshandschoenen. The bokshandschoenen, or the boxing gloves. Handschoenen is a little bit of a funny word in Dutch because it actually means hand shoes, literally. So it's boxing gloves. The bokshandschoenen. We continue, and then het wielrennen. Het wielrennen is cycling, alright? Very big in Belgium, very big in the Netherlands. We love it. Het wielrennen is cycling. And then de renner, sometimes you will say de renner. You can also say de wielrenner, and that would be the cyclist, alright? Well, then we have de fiets, of course. De fiets, you know, if you live in the Netherlands, if you live in Belgium, we like cycling a lot, so de fiets is the bike. We continue, and then if you watch cycling, sometimes there's an acceleration by one of the cyclists, and that is what we call de versnelling. We continue, and then we also have a victory, and the victory is the overwinning. The overwinning. Again, notice the N and the G will pronounce it just like in English. Wing, thing, sing, king, and so on. Alright? We continue. Het verlies. Unfortunately, that is also part of sports, and that would be the defeat or the loss. Het verlies is the defeat or the loss. We continue, and then also you can have a victory, you can have a loss, but you also can have a draw. And a draw would be het gelijkspel. Literally, it means the equal game. Het gelijkspel. We continue. Het volleybal. Volleybal, exactly the same. In English, just at the end there's 2 L's, whereas in Dutch there's only 1. We continue. Springen, quite useful if you play volleyball, and that is to jump, right? Springen is to jump. We continue, and then the aanval. The aanval would be the offensive part of the offensive players of the team, and that would be the attack, right? Then we also have the defensive parts, the defensive players of the team, and that would be de verdediging, the defense, right? De verdediging is the defense. We continue, and then of course you also have a midfield, and at midfield, the midfield we call het middenveld, right? Het middenveld is the midfield. Then, of course, if you play games, you want to make goals, you want to make doelpunten. So basically, het doelpunt is a goal. When you're making a goal, when you're scoring a goal, that would be het doelpunt. We continue, and then in the Netherlands especially, they're quite famous about that. They have very good skaters, ice skaters, and they do schaatsen. Schaatsen is to skate, to ice skate, right? And then we don't have that many mountains in the lowlands, so in Belgium and the Netherlands, not that much, but if you go to France, Switzerland, and so on, then you can skiën, and skiën is to ski, right? And then, of course, if you ice skate, you need skates, and in Dutch we call that de schaats. De schaats, that would be your skate, your ice skate. And of course, if you ski, well, you also need skis, and in Dutch we call that de skilatten, right? De skilatten or de skis. We continue, and then also horse riding is quite popular, and that would be paardrijden. Paardrijden is horse riding, right? We continue, and then we have another game, het handbal. Handbal, close to English, exactly the same almost, and that would be handbal. We continue, and then if you watch soccer, then there's also something which we call het buitenspel, and buitenspel, that would be your offside, right? Het buitenspel is offside. We continue, and then when a player makes a mistake or makes a foul, sometimes the referee will give him a gele kaart. And a gele kaart, that would be a yellow card, alright? Sometimes if the player still makes another foul and he gets another yellow card, then it gets a straight red card. Or if he makes a very flagrant foul, then he gets a red card straight away, and that would be de rode kaart. We continue, and then sometimes if you're a team, if you win a title, you can have a promotie. And a promotie, that would be a promotion. If you go from one league to another league, if you go to a higher league, that would be promotie. But sometimes, unfortunately, when the team doesn't play well and then you go to a lower league, that we call degradatie. And degradatie, that would be your relegation, de degradatie. We continue, and then of course we all play for a title, and the whole league itself is called het kampioenschap. Het kampioenschap is the championship, right? We continue, and then of course you can have a toernooi also. Toernooi is more or less the same, just used for different sports, and that would be a tournament. Het toernooi is a tournament, right? And then you have the divisie, you have the eerste divisie, tweede divisie, derde divisie, and that would be your division, right? De divisie is the division, first division, second division, third division, and so on. We continue, and then, for instance, football, 90 minutes, 45 minutes, and then there's a break, and that is what we call de helft. The helft is half time. We continue, and then sometimes, unfortunately, when you do too much sports or when you get in a tackle in, you can have een blessure. De blessure, that would be the injury, right? If you say ik ben geblesseerd, that would mean I am injured, right? And then, of course, the last one, the 50th one, sports-related word for today, that would be het laatste fluitsignaal. Het laatste fluitsignaal, and that would be the last whistle by the referee. Alright, so these were the 50 sports-related words. I hope they were useful for you. I hope you can use them in your daily life when you're doing sports. I want to thank you again for watching. Remember to give the like if you like this content, subscribe to the channel if you want more, and let me know in the comments if this was useful for you or not. I want to thank you again for watching. I wish you a great rest of the day, and stay tuned for another episode of Dutch Round 1. Ciao.